Hey lovely people, welcome to my channel. Welcome to my channel.
Alright guys, we're right at the hospital. How many centimeters?
6 to 7.
6 to 7, and look at Rue, she's just like a supermodel. She's doing amazing.
No meds.
No meds, no screaming. She's been saying she wants to take epidural, but
Yeah.
I don't know why she wants to do that when she's just being amazing, natural, without anything.
Hey lovely people, welcome back to my channel. So today I've got an amazing one for you guys. It might be for some of you, it might not, but I hope you'll be able to enjoy this one. But before we get started, if you're not subscribed, please make sure you subscribe, and please make sure you invite a couple of people over to subscribe, because I'm happy, you know, if it's the more the merrier. Okay, so today's story is my birth story. So as you guys might be able to see, I don't have the baby bump anymore. That means that the little one is actually here. And for this story, I think later on I'll try and drag Nash in, because there's some parts where I don't actually remember what happened. Probably because of the drugs, or I don't know. I just don't remember certain parts, or it might have been because of the pain, who knows. But I hope you guys are as excited as I am for this birth story that I'm about to share with you guys. So I'm not sure if you guys remember, but I was a bit overdue in the last videos that I did. And we were just waiting for our little girl to arrive. And she finally decided that she was going to make an entrance. But the thing that happened is we actually didn't know that we were getting into labor or starting labor or anything along those lines. So it was pretty much, you know, just like, oh, okay, feeling pains, who knows what this is. It kind of feels like period pains, kind of feels like cramps, whatever. Anyway, let's go to sleep and, you know, let's just move on with life and see what happens. So this would have been a Sunday night. I was in bed and I started feeling these period pain type of cramps, and I was like, oh, probably it's, you know, it's to be expected with a pregnancy. You always get, you know, pains which come and go. And I tried, you know, to just work through it. And, you know, Nash was like to me, oh, are you okay? Like with one eye open, as usual. And I was like to him, yeah, I'm fine. You know, just slight pains or whatever. But the thing that really got me a bit on the worried side was when I threw up. I hadn't thrown up after my first trimester. So I was a bit concerned. I was like, oh, why am I throwing up now? And the pain was getting a bit more intense. But it's not anything which was, you know, too serious. So we managed to call my hospital, and my hospital was like, if you want any stronger drugs to manage the pain, you can come through and get them and collect them. And we almost didn't go because we actually had a doctor's appointment later on that day. So this was around 4 a.m. when we called the hospital. And we had a doctor's appointment around 12 p.m. later on in the day. So we were really, really debating, should we go to the hospital? Should we not? What should we do? We decided, you know what, there's no issues with fuel or anything, so why don't we just go to the hospital to get the meds, come back, and then in the afternoon when we're seeing the doctor, you know, we can just also explain to him like, oh, ABCD happened, and, you know, he'll probably be like, oh, it's nothing to be worried about. So we got into the car, but I will say we always had our bags and everything packed, I think around about the 39th week mark, because we're like, anything can happen at this stage. So we had our stuff packed, and it was just in the car, so we were just always ready to go in case anything happened anytime, anywhere. So this is 4 a.m. We leave home, and it's about a 45-minute to an hour's drive to the hospital that we were going to. We get there, it's closer to 5 a.m. So the nurse is like, oh, you know, before I give you any meds, I just have to monitor the baby, because I can't just give you meds without monitoring anything. It's like, yeah, sure. So she did monitoring for about maybe 20 minutes. And then she's like, I need to call your doctor. I need to get your doctor to authorize me to give you these meds. So I don't know what happened because she did that in a different room. And then she came back and she's like, oh, I've got the good stuff. Here's the meds. But your doctor said he'll be in at 9 a.m. anyway. So why don't you just take the meds and relax on the bed? And when he comes in at 9 a.m., you know, he'll just give us a talk. And we're like, oh, okay, this sounds like a really great option because that means we don't have to drive an hour back home and an hour back into the city again later on. So we're like, okay, let's wait for him. And we did that. So 9 a.m. comes, and on time, like the guy's really on time, the doctor came through and he was like, oh, okay, hey guys, how you doing? Oh, actually, I need to go back. At 5 a.m., when the nurse was about to give me the meds, she was like, do you mind if I check your dilation? And I was like, yeah, no, it's okay. Go ahead, check if you want to see anything, but I'm not feeling anything, and you know, I doubt you'll find anything. And she checked and she's like, oh, it's like maybe 1 centimeter. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, sure. Of which it's possible for you to be like 1 centimeter for even weeks before you're actually due. So I wasn't really concerned, and I wasn't really like, oh, we're having the baby today. Neither was Nash. We were just like really chill. We were just like, oh, you know, this little girl is not ready to come anytime soon. So at 9 a.m. when the doctor came through, you know, he was just like, oh, hey, how you doing? I'm just going to do an exam and see how far dilated you are from around the 5:30 a.m. mark to 9 a.m. And by that time, I was about 6 to 7 centimeters at 9 a.m. And he was like to me, that's pretty quick. So moving from 1 centimeter at about 5:30 to about 6 to 7 centimeters at about 9 a.m. He's like, that's really quick. We're going to have this baby today by lunch. And we were like really shocked because we were like, I know Nash and I looked at each other like headless chickens and were like, we were not expecting this to happen at that time. Like we were expecting the babies coming any moment, but not particularly that time, that day. So we were pretty shocked. The doctor offered us, before I get there, I really wasn't in any pain, like any serious pain. The pain meds were really helpful, but it wasn't really labor pains. It was, to be honest, it was just like period pains, and a manageable period pain. I've had worse period pains than the pain I was in at the time. So the doctor was like, oh, you know, let's speed things along. We'll break your waters. We'll give you some drugs to speed up contractions. You know, just make you pretty comfortable. Monitor the baby, do all of that. And we're like, oh yeah, sure, okay, fine, we'll do that. So essentially, yeah, we were basically waiting for the baby. So he's like, oh, by lunchtime, this baby will be here, definitely. And we were like, oh, okay, cool. So yeah, I think at this stage I like to bring in Nash because around this time is when they started giving me, you know, the good stuff. Yeah, so let's bring in Nash because I might not remember certain parts and see what he says. So let me skip over and make some space for him. Hey, baby daddy.
Hey.
Okay, great. So Nash was by my side the whole time. Another thing that I need to say is I didn't have a birth plan. We spoke to a doctor and he was like, the best birth plan is to have no birth plan. So we were literally winging it. But the only thing I knew before going in was that I wanted to get an epidural. That's the one thing that I was really, really definite on. And at 9 a.m. when the doctor came in, I was like, I just need you to know I want to get an epidural. So if my time frame comes for me to get the epidural, I just need you guys to be like, okay, your time frame is now, get it done. And the doctor, the midwives, and Nash were like, oh, you don't need an epidural because, you know, you're really moving along pretty quickly. It's going to be like a really quick and easy delivery. And I don't know, what was your reason why I shouldn't get an epidural?
Well, because you didn't need it. Like, you were doing extremely well, and the reason for you getting an epidural is because you're in extreme pain, maybe that you cannot control, but you were doing extremely well, and personally I felt like you didn't need it, and it wasn't just myself but the doctor as well. I mean, he's done that several times. He's had patients several times. He knows when you're in serious pain, when you need epidural, but you said you didn't need it.
Okay, so I wanted an epidural. I want everyone to be clear on this.
You
But everyone else was like, you don't need an epidural.
Babe, I don't think you really needed it because you were asking me and you're like, do you think I should get it or not? If you really needed it, I don't think you would have been asking a single person. You would have just been like, you know what, I want it now. But for you, it wasn't like that. It was like, oh, do you think I should take it or not?
No, but I was saying when it gets intense, I need to get the epidural. I just wanted you to be like on board with me and be like, yes, we're doing this.
I was on board with you, and I said, if it does get worse, then yes. And I think the time when it did get worse, it was too late for you to take
Okay.
because it was, like the last minute.
Okay, so let me tell you what happened. Lunchtime came, and unfortunately, I wasn't dilated enough. So my doctor suggested that the midwives changed the concoction that they were giving me through the drip to speed up contractions. So they changed the settings, as I would say, on the drip to try to speed things up. And from after lunch, I would say I was in a higher level of pain because of the way they switched up the drip. I don't know what they did, but the pain was really starting to increase when it came after lunch. But it still wasn't bad. Like I was able to, relax. I was able to be on the bed and stuff. And that's when we started talking about our options when it came to pain management. And so the first option is the gas. The second option is, the second option is morphine or pethidine. And then the third option is the epidural. So they normally like to follow that, but it's really up to you if you want to skip some stuff and you want to go to something else. It's really up to you. So we tried the gas, and I kind of felt like, I don't know, I was feeling like really just tired. Like when I was taking the gas, and I was like, oh, there's actually times when I was refusing to take the gas because I was like, oh no, it's making me feel a bit too tired. What do you think with the gas? Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you were looking a little bit drowsy, so I think it was getting to you.
Yeah. So then we moved on to, I think my next option was the pethidine. And with the pethidine, the one thing that I'd like to say is it doesn't actually manage the pain. Like it doesn't make you not feel the pain. You're going to feel the pain. It just makes you a bit more relaxed in between contractions, which at the end of the day really doesn't do much, I guess. But it does allow you to say, if you've had a long labor, it allows you to rest up a bit in between, try to gather your energy and your strength, so that when you actually get to the intense labor section, you still have a bit of energy and you're still able to go. So that's what it was like with me. It made me a bit loopy, like a bit tired, like drowsy and sleepy. And I was just like a happy camper. What do you think when they gave me the pethidine? Was it?
Yeah, you were more relaxed.
More relaxed.
I think it did